Hello, and welcome to Transformation by Truth podcast, where the called become the chosen, and those who have been dedicated to serve the Most High receive the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, as we progress our quest for holiness, perfection, and everlasting life. My name is D.L. Anderson. I'll be your tour guide. Let's get started with today's lesson. Hello, my friends. D.L. Anderson here. Welcome back to Transformation by Truth podcast and the quest for holiness, perfection, and everlasting life. Today, we have a word of power from your host and a warning that the end is near and we are living in the last days. Today's podcast is entitled A Prelude to the End Times. Behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. Revelation 22:12. The podcast objectives are: reveal the power of truth and salvation, reveal the great fault of the modern church, and reveal the importance of understanding the seasons. The power to save you. As I revealed last week, the Father has led me to make a shift in this podcast. To that end, I'll be teaching on the end times for the near future. This is a truth He has called me to reveal in this season. Notwithstanding, and as I said before, I am still holding true to the title and purpose of this podcast. Here's why. The truth I'll reveal concerning the end times has the power to transform your life, for only the truth has the power to save you. You must believe me. There are thousands of erroneous doctrines and beliefs concerning the end times, and all who follow them will die for one simple reason. They did not receive a love for the truth. And because they did not love the truth, they did not follow the truth. They did not apply it in their lives, and thus they were not transformed. On the contrary, they believed one of the many lies concerning the end times, and they will all surely die. 2 Thessalonians 2:9-12 reads, "The coming of the lawless one is according to the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceit of unrighteousness in those perishing, because they did not receive the love of the truth, in order for them to be saved. And for this reason, Elohim sends them a strong delusion for them to believe the lie, in order that all should be judged who did not believe the truth, but had delighted in the unrighteousness." I trust I have gotten your attention, and I trust you perceive what is at stake. That would be everlasting life, for it is impossible to be eternally saved if you do not believe the truth concerning the end times. The great fault of the modern church. Even though this is a true matter, borne out by countless scriptures, the religious circuit is in gross error concerning the end times. I'll tell you why, summarizing the passage we just read. The religious circuit is not a sanctuary of truth. Rather, it is one of the greatest outlets of errors and lies. Here lies the problem. Namely, everyone understands the critical nature of the end times, and everyone wants to be prepared for them. However, you cannot be prepared if you don't have the truth. This is where the rubber meets the road, and why so many in the religious circuit will become casualties to these last days and fail to inherit everlasting life. Here's why: they do not have a love for the truth, for this cause. They will reject the truth they do not wish to follow. If you think this is a dangerous place to be in, I agree with you. For the Father has sent a strong delusion into the religious circuit. And all those who do not love the truth will believe one of the many lies concerning the end times, and they will all surely die. This is why I have constantly spoken to the vast significance of truth in our quest for holiness, perfection, and everlasting life. And I will say it again for good measure. In order to be led into more truth, you must receive and apply the truth the Father has already revealed to you. Here lies the great fault of the modern church. Regrettably, they are not being led into the truth, for they have not embraced the truth as a whole. They have only embraced it in part, which is why they will be damned, for there is no such thing as a partial salvation. We can tell the seasons. For that reason, I don't worry about these pretenders, because the message the Father has given me is not for them, for they will never be saved. And should they, perchance, stumble upon this podcast ministry, I am quite sure they will all run the other way. On the other hand, there are a handful of contenders who love the truth and have been called to the eternal salvation. However, to be chosen, you must be prepared. And to be prepared, you must know what is coming. You must understand the truth concerning these last days. This is the next phase in this podcast ministry. This is the next body of truth the Father has called me to share. Key pieces of knowledge that are not mainstream in the religious world. Outside this ministry, you may not find them anywhere. Alas, as it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. For as truth has fallen in the streets, this ministry may be the only ministry you will encounter where you will find it. And you must find it, for I will reveal to you a great truth concerning the times we're about to see, the days that are just ahead. I ask you to consider it carefully, for your life depends on it. Our world is soon approaching 3 consecutive seasons, which will destroy more than 1/2 of our earth and kill more than 3/4 of the men, women, and children in the world today. No doubt, I will provide scriptural evidence supporting this truth, as I have done for the past 6 months across various assemblies. Until then, I want you to think about this reality every day. Consider how 3 out of every 4 persons you see will die in the upcoming years. That said, we neither project nor predict the years with certainty, for no man has such knowledge. However, we can, by the Spirit, understand the seasons we are living in, for it is written, "It is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven." Thus, we conclude, the same way we can tell the seasons by the changing of the leaves, we know we are living in the final hours of these last days by all the signs we have seen. Now, here is the final word. The most violent days in the history of our world are upon us. They are at the door. In the upcoming months, I will use the word of truth to prove this declaration. Then it'll be up to you to follow the Spirit as He leads you to a place of refuge until the displeasure has passed. Now, here is what's next. We have a new series on the end times. The objective: to provide a comprehensive view of the end times and prove we are living in the final hours of these last days. I will post the first podcast in this new series on Monday, March 27th. And I will post a new podcast twice each week, on Mondays and on Fridays. That will give you time to listen, reflect, and ask questions in between each podcast. Now, the reason I'm waiting 4 weeks to post my first lesson in the series is because we'll be making a marketing effort across various platforms. Knowing the life and death matter of this message, the Father has led me to do so. For that reason, and I'll say it again, if you have an ear to hear what the Spirit is saying in these last days, you should invite everyone you love and hold dear to listen to the truth I've been commissioned to share in this series, for the time is at hand. Until then, my friends, continue to be led by the Spirit of Elohim, and I promise you, I will too. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Remember to tune in with us every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And if you haven't already, visit us at www.pinnacleofholiness.com and make sure you sign up to join the quest for holiness, perfection, and everlasting life 2022.